Hey guys, what's going on? Colin here with Red Beans and Dice, and today we're going to be looking at Mr. Fix-It, the mechanic from Nemesis, made by Awaken Realms. We're going to be looking at the quest items, we're going to be looking at 5 of the more unique cards, the starting weapon, and then the trait that comes along with the mechanic. So I'm not going to be looking at the demolition card, the interruption, the 2 searches, and the rest. Those are generic basic ones that I didn't really want to give any time to. But let's start off. We're going to be looking at the quest item up here. The flashlight. Okay, we're going to have to discard an energy charge to activate this item. I do not like discarding energy charges, especially when you have somebody that doesn't have a very good weapon, in my opinion, like the mechanic does. It only comes with 2 shots. It hits really hard if it hits, but at the same time, it's nice to have an energy charge to reload that. So let's flip it over and check out what it does. It's a not in combat use item. And then for 2 cards, you're going to be able to perform a search action. I do not like this card. It is basically, oh man, I don't want to say worthless, but because you might be able to use it at a pinch, but I don't like this. There's a card in there called Search, one of the ones that I'm not going to show you. There's 2 of them in everybody's deck. There's only 10 cards, so if you can't find one of those, that's just bad luck, or you're just going to be getting the other 2 next turn. I don't really see a use for this. Not a really good card in my opinion. So we'll put that right back down here. Next up is going to be Plasma Torch for this quest item. And you're going to activate this in the storage room. That's not bad. You're not losing any items or anything like that. It's going to be another out of combat card, and you're going to be paying 1 to open, close 1 door in a corridor you are connected to, in a corridor connected to the room you are in. Destroyed doors can be closed using this item. That is pretty cool. But at the same time, there's a lot of other items and cards that you can use to achieve the same goal. But if you want to bust this open, and then I'll get into the trait later, you can actually use this for crafting in one of the traits over, or for the trait card over there. So it's not exactly the worst thing to activate, because then it actually has another purpose. You can use it for something else, but opening and closing 1 door really isn't that big. Very rarely have I noticed that doors are getting broken down and you have to lay them flat because they're just completely busted. That, it happens every now and then, but by that point, you've moved on and you're not next to that room, and it's just kind of a situational thing where I don't think you're going to be using this very much. But hey, if you want it and need it, here it is. Put that right over there. Let's take a look at some of these more unique cards for the mechanic. First off, we have Fast Repairs. This guy is going to be Mr. Fix-It. So discard a malfunction marker from the room you're in, or repair break the engine. And look at that. Oh, you just play the card as is and you get the results down here. So a lot of people have this card and it costs 2 or 1. He is obviously geared for out of combat activity, fixing things, repairing stuff. He has a couple other really cool cards in here that I absolutely love, and I'm going to get to those next. But I like this card. So very often the rooms are broken, and if you're trying to send the signal, yada yada, so on and so forth, you need to fix that room, whatever you're in. And nice to have it. Pyrotechnics. Okay, I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I love this card, and I'll tell you why. During the event phase where you draw an event card, you are going to usually get some cards. It feels like there's a million in there, because me and my group always draw these cards where it's like fire either occurs or fire spreads through each corridor that is not shut through a door to the opposing room. And if you get the right room with fire in it, it can shoot off into 3 to 4, I believe, other rooms. And then, as you know, if you get 8 fire markers on the board, everybody dies. It all explodes. And that has happened twice to me and my group, and it is horrible. I actually saved the day and put out a fire, and then the next event card that we drew was where if there's a fire, it spreads, and everybody really was appreciative of that. We were doing a co-op, so I figure I better nip it in the butt and take care of the fire marker that it's in. It does cost an extra card, but it's not bad. Obviously, the fire extinguisher is a yellow crafting item, or a yellow card that you can find, and then it does take a hand spot. You have to put it in there, but I really like it. It's just discard a card and discard the fire extinguisher, and then remove the... and they're also versatile, the fire extinguisher is, because you can actually shoot it at an alien and have it run away. So just kind of a multi-purpose, off the subject item that I'm talking about that doesn't pertain to this card, but I love this card. It's great. If you see any fire pop up, I'm just going to tell you right now, put it out. So let's put this over to the side, get into the next one. Computer skills. Open, close one door in a corridor connected to the room you are in, or if you are in a room with a computer, use its room action without paying its cost. Very good versatile card. If I love the or, anytime there's an or in there, that means you're going to have options, and options are always great. You never know where you're going to end up, what you're going to be doing, or what is going to be happening. And then having a room, I'd say a good amount. I'd say about half the rooms that have computers. So that can be really good. And yeah, opening, closing a door, not huge, but hey, if you need it, it's there. Ingenuity. Ooh, I almost mispronounced that. Discard the malfunction marker from the room you're in. Great. Repair, break the engine in the engine room you are in. Awesome. Or craft an item. You can use any yellow item as this symbol right over there. And then this symbol is mostly used for the flamethrower, I believe. So if you have, what is it? Let's take a look down here. The flamethrower takes the cloth and then anything, I'm not sure what this is, like a little pipe. So if you can find a cloth, I think, or anything that has that symbol up in there, you can use any one of your yellow items as a crafting item and possibly make the flamethrower, which is really great. And then I'll get into the trait over here a little bit more, which kind of adds to that. But I love this card. Just the options of what you can do. If there's not a malfunction marker, you can fix the engine, or you can craft an item, or, you know, there's just a lot of things you can do with this. Doesn't cost anything but the card. Excellent card. Really like it. Over here, we have possibly one of my most favorite cards ever, the Technical Corridors. I love this card. You got to use it at the end of your turn, or else you're going to be passing, but well, let's just take a look at it. Used in a room with a technical corridor entrance, move your character to any other room with a technical corridor entrance. So the technical corridors are going to be those little dots with numbers assigned to them. And when you roll the number that it's coordinated with the dot, you're going to put it into a little red circle room. I'm not explaining this very well, but anyway, it's going to be a way for you to basically jump from one room all the way across to a board to another room with a technical corridor. And, you know, the way that I use it, I've still been rolling for noise unless there's another character in that room, just like moving. But you must pass after this action. So make sure that, you know, if you can get a search out or possibly utilize your cards to the maximum and then use this action, unless you're trying to keep it because you think there's going to be an intruder that's going to attack you and do a surprise attack. That would be a good reason to keep your cards, but I like to do a little bit and then use this and possibly keep one or two of my cards. But I love this card. I had the egg, I think the last time I played with the mechanic, and I needed to get all the way across the board and get onto a escape pod. And I used this card and I skipped about 5 rooms with intruders just thick up in that puppy. And I jumped across and I used this card and I got into the technical corridor. And it just made life so much easier for me, and we won that game. And me moving through that area was probably a good reason. Without you know, having to roll for noise and deal with everything in the room was a good reason as to why we probably won. So Technical Corridors, you get an A+. I love this card. Put it right over the side, and it's unique. No other characters, as far as I know, have that. Let's look at the starting weapon for the mechanic here. So this is the same weapon, I believe, that the pilot has. It looks exactly the same. We got 2 ammo. Unmodified rolls of 1 are treated as double. So that's going to mean if you roll that 1 symbol, you just get 2 damage on it. So not the best weapon, but you know, if you need it, it's here and it's good. It's got 2 ammo, which is light, which, you know, like I said, you know, it's a weapon. It can do extra damage if you roll the right thing, but it's got such a low ammo count. That goes back to me kind of harping and whining about the flashlight and how I like energy charges, especially with the character with low ammo. You really want to save those energy charges because you never know what's going to be coming after you. If you have to go into melee with an intruder, it feels like you've already lost. You're just going to pile up on those contamination cards. So hopefully you can kill it real quickly or get it to run away, or you can get lucky and draw an energy charge through the yellow or red items, but not the best weapon in the game. I do not like it. I'll put it right down there. And let's check out this trait, which I didn't get to utilize in the last couple times that I played with the mechanic, but I really like it. It's very interesting. You can use, it's called Handyman. You can use your starting and quest items as yellow items when performing a craft item action. So say you're out of ammo on your shotgun over here, and you have cloths or clothes or cloths, I can't remember what it is, but something with that symbol, you can actually use this to go ahead and perform a crafting action to get a flamethrower and get essentially a new weapon that might be a little more easier to grab ammo for, or you know, if you want to light a room on fire. So that is a really cool, unique item that I've never actually got to use, but it's different and I like it, and it's unique, and it kind of makes you think about your actions and then what sort of items you're picking up. Not the best trait in the game, but you know what? I really like playing with the mechanic. He's versatile. He's kind of unique. He's got a couple of different cards. Putting out fires is great, and then being able to sneak through the technical corridors is it's very scout-esque, but at the same time it makes sense because he's, you know, familiar with the air ducts. You know, Earl over here fixing stuff. But anyway, that is it for my breakdown of the mechanic. I really hope you guys enjoyed my videos. If you have any other questions or anything like that for me, hit me up down in the comments, and I would love to get back to you and hear about anything you have to say. Thank you so much for watching my video, and have a great day. Bye.